duties, which is a way for industry in the United States to slow down bringing in lumber in competition with the U.S. industry. And they've been able to, over time, being successful in slowing that volume down. However, the industry in particular, under the umbrella of COFI, the Council of Forest Industry, has not been very responsive in terms of interacting meaningful between the other governments in Canada and the federal government in negotiating with the U.S. in a number of areas. The anti-dumping, which is the second party of the duties, anti-dumping, the two together is, to put it into proportion, is right now for companies like us, secondary manufacturers that sell into the United States, would pay 14.5% duties on all the volumes that we sell. That likely will go to double that starting in August to 30% and beyond. That is just the duties, anti-dumping and duties. What is anti-dumping? Anti-dumping is where 4 or 5 major companies, including Canfor, West Fraser, Tulco, and some of the other ones, have been selling below their cost into the U.S. market. And since 2016, that has become subject to additional anti-dumping charges. That already is something that we have known that this would happen because it was part of the 2016 negotiations. The other part that it used to be before that is that secondary manufacturers that had no timber, alleging by the U.S. that it was subsidized, that had no timber, but were buying raw material in the open market in competition with U.S. producers, were only paying duties on the input, the lumber they bought. They called it first mill. Unfortunately, because of negotiations that took place in 2016, in particular, the organizations that negotiated those deals were the Council of Forest Industry and the BC Lumber Trade Council, which are again controlled by 3 or 4 different companies that have now left the province primarily, that they negotiated and ignored the part of representing value-added manufacturers. And subsequently, from that, further damage was created, or less incentive was created for investment in value-added manufacturing. What does that mean? That if you buy lumber for $100 and you had a lot of value to it, maybe up to $600-700, you would pay not a minimum duty, although you shouldn't pay any really, but on the input, but you pay it on the more value you add, the more duties you pay.